Charles Bukowski, poet of the average man and unapologetically himself, was a man whose brilliance came from his raw compulsion to write and call things as he saw them. He was a bum, postal worker, alcoholic, and gambler. You might think that such a person would maybe make for exciting poetry and have some entertaining humor, but there is far more to his work than just that. If you read between the lines, there is a central message that we all need now more than ever. Some people say that his core thought can be summed up in the words, "Don't try." But there is more to Bukowski. There is a part of him that wants you to try and fight like hell, to be real. In fact, he says it's the only good fight there is. In a world where social media is drowning originality, we could all learn a thing or two from the dark life of Charles Bukowski. Bukowski was not normal. He saw things that others didn't see, could never see. Bukowski saw the chilling reality of an awful world where others saw joy in the neon signs of Vegas. He saw what lay beneath them. He saw that every laugh, every smile, every night to remember and affair to forget was 100 people so beaten and destroyed that getting a bargain on canned tuna was the greatest victory of their lives. He said, "There is a loneliness in this world so great that you can see it in the slow movements of the hands of a clock. There is a loneliness in this world so great that you can see it blinking in neon signs in Vegas, in Baltimore, in Munich." Like many who are cursed to see the dark half of the world, unblinded by the flashing lights, Bukowski turned to poetry and writing. But with most of the people in this world chasing the red dot, he could hardly make a dime from his work. So, like many of those same people, he tried to drown it. "There is a blue bird in my heart that wants to get out, but I pour whiskey on him and inhale cigarette smoke." His mundane day jobs and continued lack of success drove Bukowski to give it up altogether. This extra real world became just too much. He spent 10 years living on the streets. He often missed meals, slept on park benches, and suffered from loneliness. But even 10 years of alcoholism couldn't kill his passion for writing. "There's a blue bird in my heart that wants to get out, but I only let him out at night sometimes, when everybody's asleep. I say, I know that you're there, so don't be sad." And I put him back, but he's singing a little in there. I haven't quite let him die. And we sleep together like that with our secret pact, and it's nice enough to make a man weep. Bukowski returned to Los Angeles and tried writing again, but he remained largely unnoticed for most of his life. He had a mostly cynical view of society, but he always had something good at least trying to shine through his work. Even so, the world just kept beating him down, and not just him. He saw the world was beating everyone down, but he also thought it was all our fault. Bukowski had no faith in the human race. He didn't want to save it. He didn't think he was a hero or its savior, and he had a good reason for this. He thought people actually did too much. Bukowski couldn't help but notice that jobs were soul-sucking, that money made people evil and stupid, and nobody seemed to care at all. All of the world's problems could be solved in a flash. There were no evil systems or threatening ideas, no devils or totalitarian states to fight. The real problem, according to him, was that people simply aren't good to each other. He says this beautifully in his famous poem, The Crunch. "People are tired, strafed by life, mutilated either by love or no love. We don't need new governments. We don't need new men, new women. We don't need new ways. We just need to care. People are just not good to each other. One-on-one. People are just not good to each other. We are afraid. We think that hatred signifies strength, that punishment is love. What we need is less false education. What we need are fewer rules, fewer police, and more good teachers. We forget the terror of one person aching in one room, alone, unkissed, untouched, cut off. watering a plant alone without a telephone that would never ring anyway. People are not good to each other. People are not good to each other. People are not good to each other. And the beads swing and the clouds obscure, and the dogs piss upon rose bushes. The killer beheads the child like taking a bite out of an ice cream cone, while the ocean comes in and goes out, in and out, in the thrall of a senseless moon. And people are not good to each other. You see, the problem isn't out there. We are so obsessed with ideas, with abstract threats, that we have no energy or passion for the people we see every day. We talk about a better world. We hate and kill our way to a better world. How ironic. This brings us back to Bukowski urging us to be real. In essence, he thinks that most of humanity never lives a single day on their own terms. We copy, follow rules, and stay in line because we are afraid. And he never had the chance to live a life like this. His father whipped him mercilessly, and one day, after years of beatings, Bukowski said that for the first time, he didn't scream. No whimper, no crying, not a sound. A boy of 12 years old had all of the hope and pretending beaten out of him. So Bukowski said that he had no choice but to be real. This is why he hated the 9-to-5 life, the classic American family, this big charade we all pretend we love. From the darkest corners of society, living amongst prostitutes, drunks, and criminals, he could see with striking clarity the hypocrisy on which society was built, the slavery that is that 9-to-5 grind. It was on the backs of people that would know nothing more than mindless work that all of the excess of the few would be built. We have the money to help people. We have the money to fix the environment. We have the money to fix education. We have the money to fix everything. We just don't. Anyone who tries to tell you it's more complicated than that is either lying to you or to themselves. It can be hard to know what to do under such circumstances. If you're familiar with Bukowski and many of the videos about him, you know that in most cases he simply says, don't try. Don't try because most of the times you try so hard, you're doing it on someone else's terms. You make them money, you abide by their principles and beliefs, or you kill for something they made up. But when do you try? When that one thing that is truly you, the thing that doesn't even feel like trying reveals itself to you, you try like hell, because that might be the only real thing you ever experience. And by actually following through on it, you can become real yourself. So the choice is yours. Will you be them, or will you be you? If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. If you're going to try, go all the way. This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, jobs, and maybe your mind. Go all the way. It could mean not eating for 3 or 4 days. It could mean freezing on a park bench. It could mean jail. It could mean derision, mockery, isolation. Isolation is the gift. All the others are a test of your endurance, of how much you really want to do it. And you'll do it, despite rejection and the worst odds, and it will be better than anything else you can imagine. If you're going to try, go all the way. There is no other feeling like that. You will be alone with the gods, and the nights will flame with fire. Do it, do it, do it, do it. All the way, all the way. You will ride life straight to the perfect laughter. It's the only good fight there is. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing to the channel for more. It helps us immensely. Visit the link in the comments to see how you can become a member of our community and support the channel. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.